The drama starts on a college ground where male lead Arthit and his best friend Thanon are participating in football tryouts. They get selected, because of which Arthit and Thanon's friends, Kot and Ling, are also very happy. Ling says, "We should celebrate this," and then they all go to a cafe together. In the next scene, we are shown the drama's female lead, who belongs to a rich family. Her name is Famai, but everyone knows her by the name Peng. Right here, Peng is fighting with some girls, due to which all the students of the school start making a video of her fight. During this time, Arthit arrives there and, to stop the fight, he catches hold of Peng. Seeing this, all the other girls run away. At that time, Peng is feeling very angry. When Arthit is taking Peng to the teacher, Peng pushes him with her school bag and runs away from there. After this, when Peng reaches home, her maid sees her face and asks, "Have you fought again?" While applying medicine to her wound, the maid says, "Fighting again and again is not a good thing." Now, here we find out that Peng has had many fights before, because of which she has to change schools every time. For this reason, the maid explains to her, "You should live nicely with everyone and make new friends." Hearing this, Peng says, "Everyone wants to be my friend only because I belong to a rich family. They all want to take advantage of me. And as far as boys are concerned, they only want to hook up with me." Hearing this, the maid is shocked and asks, "Where did you learn this word?" Then Peng says with attitude, "I am 15 years old now. I am not a 5-year-old little child." Just then, Peng's dad comes home. Hearing the sound of the car, Peng quickly goes to another room and hides, because if he sees the mark of the fight on her face, she will definitely get a scolding. But after a while, her dad goes inside the room and asks the maid, "Where is Peng?" The maid says, "She is not here." But just then, the dad sees her hidden under the blanket. He tells the maid, "I am going to my room." After saying this, he quietly comes and stands to the side. Because of this, Peng thinks, "My dad is gone." Therefore, she removes the blanket and comes out, but she is completely shocked to see her dad right next to her. She quickly covers her face with her hoodie. Seeing this, her dad immediately understands, this girl has come back after fighting again today. Then he explains to her lovingly, "I just want you to make good friends and spend your life happily." Saying this, he puts the gift he brought for her to the side. But Peng quickly picks up the gift and promises her dad, "I will never fight again." Then Peng asks her dad, "Where is Mom?" Just then, her mom comes in running. On the other side, Arthit, Thanon, and Ling come with drinks. Seeing this, Ling gets a bit confused. Whose drink should I take and whose should I not? Then Kot says, "You take any one drink." Hearing this, Ling takes Arthit's drink, and Kot jokingly takes Thanon's drink. Thanon secretly likes Ling. Therefore, when Ling chooses Arthit's drink, he feels a little jealous. In the next scene, we see Peng's mom being shown a video of the fight between Peng and those girls by some ladies at a party. Seeing this, her mom feels embarrassed. On the other side, Peng tells her maid, "Come to the club with me." Then we see Kot and Thanon, who are also persuading Arthit, "Come to the club." Just then, Arthit receives a call. Right when Peng and the maid reach the club, on the other side, Arthit also arrives at the same club with his friends. When everyone is sitting together, their eyes fall on Peng. Peng is holding a beer bottle in her hand and pretending as if she is drinking. Peng tells her maid, "Click my photo." Then she sends her photos with the beer bottle to her mom. Her mom gets very angry seeing the photo, but she does not reply. Seeing this, Peng says, "We will have to take photos with boys too." Arthit is watching all this from afar. Just then, Peng spots 2 boys. They both come near her and Peng asks them, "Can I click photos with you?" Both of them immediately get ready. When the maid is clicking the photo, those 2 boys try to touch Peng in a wrong way and start behaving rudely. Peng becomes uncomfortable and says, "Now I want to go home." But one of the boys secretly mixes something into Peng's drink. Arthit sees all this from a distance. Then that boy tries to force Peng to drink, but just then, Arthit arrives there, snatches the glass from them, and tells Peng, "Something has been mixed in this drink." Right here, we find out that the call Arthit received was not from anyone else, but from Peng's maid. Then a fight breaks out between Arthit and those boys. After a while, Kot and Thanon also arrive and support Arthit. After this, they are all at the police station where the entire matter is being explained to the inspector. Just then, Peng's mom also arrives there. She says, "Thank you," to Arthit and takes Peng away from there. The next morning, Arthit is with Peng's dad. Peng's dad says thank you to him for helping last night and tries to give him some money. At first, Arthit refuses, but later he keeps the money. In the next scene, Peng goes to the school gate and turns back. Just then, Arthit arrives there and asks her, "Do you not have a class today?" To this, Peng says, no. At this, Arthit says, do I look crazy to you? Go to your class quietly. But Peng still insists. Arthit explains a lot to her, after which Peng finally goes to class. Now, after school, Arthit goes to his village to meet his family. Since Arthit has come to the village after many days, everyone is very happy to see him. Many dishes are prepared for him and he has lunch with his entire family. Now, after lunch, Arthit goes for a walk on the farm where some workers are playing football, so Arthit joins them too. On the other side, Peng returns home after shopping alone. The maid asks, where is Dad? The maid tells her, he is not at home today. But yes, your mom is at home today. Hearing this, Peng becomes very happy and messages her dad, please come home early today. After seeing this message, her dad actually comes home early. Then Peng goes to a hotel with her mom and dad where she has planned a surprise date for both of them. Because for the first time her entire family was together, Peng is very happy and jokingly demands a younger brother from her mom and dad and says, I also want a younger brother like other people. In the next scene, Arthit receives a call from his mom at college. His mom tells him while crying, your dad is admitted to the hospital. Hearing this, Arthit rushes to the hospital. There his mom tells him, your dad's business partner, Mr. Songtham, has cheated and transferred the entire farm to his name. Due to too much tension, your dad fainted and fell down. Hearing this, Arthit goes to his dad and says, don't you worry, everything will be fine. After this, Peng asks her dad, where is mom? The dad tells her, your mom has gone on a trip with her friends. Hearing this, Peng becomes sad again. Then to make her mood better, her dad asks, will you go for a walk with me? Hearing this, Peng immediately gets ready. Here, Arthit goes to the house and the farm with his dad. His dad tells him, I have worked very hard to make this farm and it is very important to me. Just then, Mr. Songtham's lawyer and some people come to Arthit's house to finalize a deal. So, Arthit tells them clearly, we will not sell this farm. Arthit, in anger, drives away the lawyer and those goons and says, we will not sell the farm. Just then, Peng's dad and Peng also arrive there. Everyone starts talking together. During this, childhood stories come up and we find out that Arthit and Peng have been friends in childhood. Then Arthit's dad tells Arthit, take Peng outside and show her your farm. Hearing this, Arthit takes Peng with him. As soon as those two leave, Arthit's dad tells Peng's dad the whole truth. Mr. Songtham has cheated us, and there is a problem going on regarding the farm. Hearing this, Peng's dad becomes ready to help them. On the other side, Arthit takes Peng to a very beautiful location from where a very good view is visible. There, both of them have a little fun together, and Arthit asks Peng, do you have any friends? To this, Peng says, I don't want any friends. Hearing this, Arthit explains a lot to her and says, from today, I am becoming your first friend. Hearing this, Peng becomes very happy. Then both return home and have lunch together. Just then, Arthit's mom says, good, our son Arthit has also found a lovely sister. Now, after having lunch, Arthit's mom shows Peng and her dad their room. Then the dad asks Peng, are you feeling good here? Peng says, I don't just feel good here. I feel very good. This farm is very beautiful and the people here are also very good. I am feeling very good here. In the next scene, we see Thanon's sister, Nang. Thanon's family also lives in the village like Arthit's family and runs a hotel. Just then, Thanon, Kot, and Ling also arrive there, having come to the village to see Arthit's dad because he was sick. Then everyone goes to Arthit's house where they meet Arthit's dad. When Arthit is talking to Ling, Nang gets angry seeing this because Nang also likes Arthit. Now, there was a lot of time left for the food to be prepared, so Arthit takes everyone for a tour of the farm. There, Nang tries to talk to Arthit, but Arthit is talking to Ling. Seeing this, Nang gets jealous and intentionally makes Ling fall. Then, acting in front of everyone, she says, I'm really sorry. You fell by mistake. But Peng sees all this from a distance and tells everyone, Nang did this intentionally, not by mistake. And then Peng tells Arthit, I am going back to Bangkok. Arthit goes to drop her to the car. There, Peng asks him, is Ling your girlfriend? So Arthit refuses and says, she is just my college friend. She is a friend. Then Peng asks about Nang, so Arthit tells her, Nang is Thanon's younger sister. Now, after dropping Peng, Arthit comes back to his friends. So the friends ask him, is Peng your girlfriend? Hearing this, Arthit clearly refuses because he does not like Peng as a girlfriend. Now, the next morning, when Peng is going to school, she receives a message from her mom. We will not be able to have dinner at the hotel today. Seeing this, Peng calls the driver and finds out, my mom is at the hotel now. Then she reaches that hotel where Peng's mom is already present. Going there, Peng creates a lot of noise, because of which the mom makes her sit in the car and scolds her a lot. She says, now what will my friends think about me? Hearing this, Peng says, you only care about your friends, not me. and goes away from there crying. Then the mom calls Peng's dad and says, Peng has gone away in anger and I don't know where she has gone. Hearing this, Peng's dad calls Arthit and tells him everything. Peng is nowhere to be found. Hearing this, Arthit immediately goes to look for Peng and calls her. At first, Peng does not pick up anyone's call, but she picks up Arthit's call and tells him where she is now. Peng is on the top floor of a building. Therefore, Arthit quickly goes there, and seeing Peng's school bag hanging, he thinks, perhaps Peng has committed suicide by jumping off the building. But after a while, Peng comes there herself. So Arthit asks, where did you go after hanging the school bag here? To this, Peng says, I was hungry, so I went to get some snacks. Then Arthit calls Peng's dad and tells him, Peng is with me now. Then Arthit tells Peng to go back home. So Peng says, I will not go because I have fought with mom. Hearing this, Arthit tries to explain to her and says, if you don't want to go home, it's okay. I will not force you to go home. And yes, you were quite hungry, weren't you? So eat the snacks comfortably. After this, Arthit takes Peng to his home. Just then, Arthit's friends arrive there, and they all dance together, which makes Peng's mood better. And then everyone leaves from there. So Arthit goes to drop Peng to her house. Arthit asks, why don't you have any friends? Hearing this, Peng says, who said I don't have friends? You are my friend, aren't you? Arthit says, you should make more friends. Now, after coming home, Peng says sorry to her mom. Then her mom tells her, there is no need to say sorry because it was my fault too. Hearing this, Peng hugs her mom. In the next scene, Peng decides, I will try to make new friends. But whenever she goes to talk to someone, all the girls maintain some distance because everyone avoids her due to Peng's image or previous fights. Just then, a fight breaks out between Peng and some girls, and because of this, the teacher takes Peng and those girls to the principal's office. So the principal asks them, why were you guys creating problems again? This time your parents will have to be called. Just then, Peng's dad also arrives there because he has to come to pick up Peng from school. Seeing this, Peng asks, how did you know that I fought? But her dad says, I haven't come here to talk about the fight. Rather, you will not stay at home for a few days. I have packed your clothes and belongings. Hearing this, Peng asks in surprise, where am I going? Then her dad takes her straight to Arthit's house and says, now she will stay here for a few days. Arthit's dad asks, is everything all right? Peng's dad says, I have to solve some problems, therefore Peng will have to stay here temporarily. Peng asks slowly, when will you come to pick me up? So the dad tells her, as soon as the problem is solved, I will come to pick you up. Saying this, when Peng's dad starts to leave, Peng starts crying. Then her dad explains to her, stay happy with everyone here. And yes, don't fight with anyone at all. He's hearing this, Peng hugs her dad. After this, Peng calls her mom and asks, what is going on there? And how many days will I have to stay here? Hearing this, her mom says in confusion, what are you talking about? Hearing this, Peng understands perhaps mom does not know the real reason. And then the call gets cut. Then she tries to call her mom, but her mom does not receive the call. In the next scene, Arthit and his friends are doing a group study. Just then, Kot is using his phone again and again. Seeing this, Arthit gets irritated, takes his phone and switches it off. Seeing this, everyone also switches off their phones for serious study. On the other side, Peng calls Arthit, but his phone comes as switched off. Then Peng calls her maid An and asks, what is going on in the house? Then An says, I am not at home. Hearing this, Peng says, it's okay, I will call the other maid. After saying this, Peng calls the other maid. Then that maid tells her, I am also with An. Your dad has given us 2 days off. On the other side, Arthit's mom says to Arthit's dad, what did Peng's dad talk to you about in private? But Arthit's dad refuses. Just then, Duong comes and tells them, Peng is not in her room. Hearing this, everyone gets worried, and immediately they go to Peng's room, where they find a note in which it is written, I am going to see my mom and dad. Seeing this, everyone becomes even more worried. On the other side, Peng goes to Bangkok hiding in a truck where one of her ribbons falls. And there, Arthit's mom and dad were very worried about Peng when just then a worker comes there and asks, what happened? Then they tell him about Peng, so that worker shows them a ribbon that he found outside. Seeing this, Arthit's mom says, this is Peng's ribbon. Then the worker tells them, this was in our truck. Hearing this, Arthit's dad gets worried and they immediately start going to Bangkok. In the next scene, Peng reaches her house. As she goes inside the house's belongings are lying here and there. Just then, she suddenly hears the sound of a gunshot. Now, hearing the sound of the gunshot, she runs in fear towards the upper room. As she enters the room, she sees her mom and dad lying on the floor. That is, they have died. Seeing this, Peng cries a lot and tries to wake up her dad by shaking him again and again, but they do not respond. Then she understands, my dad has died. Just then, Arthit's dad arrives there. As he sees the entire mess inside the house, he turns on the light, and just then his eyes fall on Pung, whose clothes have blood on them. Seeing this, he immediately tries to call Arthit, but his phone is switched off. Therefore, the dad calls Arthit's mom and tells her the whole situation, and right then Pung faints. So Arthit's dad quickly takes her to the hospital. On the other side, when Arthit and his friends finish, Arthit turns on his phone and sees many calls from his dad and Peng. He immediately calls his dad, but Arthit's dad does not tell him anything because of the final exam. Just then, Peng regains consciousness, and she tells Arthit's dad, "Yesterday I had a dream that my mom and dad died." Hearing this, Arthit's dad says with a very heavy heart, "This was not a dream. This is the truth. Your mom and dad are no longer in this world." Hearing this, Peng breaks down and starts crying. Her entire world ends in a moment. In the next scene, in the joy of the exams ending, Arthit and his friends are having a lot of fun. And Arthit and Thanon smile while looking at Ling because both of them liked Ling a lot. Seeing this, Kot asks them jokingly, "Are you both enjoying looking at Ling so much?" Then all the friends talk to each other about future plans and graduation. On the other side, Peng is sitting outside missing her mom and dad. Just then, her maids, Anne and Yam, arrive there. Seeing them, Peng becomes happy. Then those maids also try to make Peng laugh. Seeing Peng laugh, Arthit's dad also feels good. After this, Arthit's mom and dad are talking to each other. Just then, Arthit arrives there. After a while, Arthit goes to Peng's room to meet her and knocks on the door, but Peng does not open the door. She thinks perhaps it is not Arthit outside but someone else, and she does not want to meet anyone. But after a while, when she opens the door, Arthit is in front of her. Arthit says slowly, "I found out about your mom and dad. I'm sorry that I could not come." Hearing this, Peng becomes emotional, then Arthit hugs her. In the next scene, Arthit takes Peng to the farm where they are digging a hole to plant flowers. Just then, a worker comes there, so Arthit tells him, "I want to be alone with her." Saying this, the worker runs away. Then Arthit and Peng start working together. Then, due to the wind blowing, Peng's hair comes on her face. Seeing this, Arthit ties her hair. Seeing this, Peng becomes happy. Then Arthit says, "It is important to take care of the plants, otherwise they will get ruined." Hearing this, Peng says confidently, "I will take care of the plants." Now, after finishing the work, both are washing their hands. Just then, Nong brings a gift for Arthit. So Arthit tells her, "You and Peng are of the same age, so both of you should become friends with each other." Hearing this, Nang holds Peng's hand and says, "From today we are friends." And then she digs her nail hard into her hand. Seeing this, Peng also holds her hand and digs her nail into it. That night, Arthit takes Peng to see a meteor shower. Just then, the worker and Anne also arrive there. And Arthit is telling Peng about the stars, because of which Peng is very happy. And during this, both get very close to each other, and just then, the meteor shower also starts. Seeing this, both start making their wishes. Where Arthit wishes, "May Ling accept me," and Peng wishes, "May I always stay with Arthit." The next day, the worker finds out from Duong, Arthit and Peng are going to get married. Hearing this, Duong quickly goes to Arthit's mom and dad and asks, "Are Arthit and Peng going to get married?" Hearing this, Arthit's mom is shocked and says, "This is never going to happen." And yes, don't you guys even think about this. Just then, Peng, standing behind, hears all these things and becomes sad. In the next scene, it is the first day of Peng's school. Therefore, as she goes out, she asks Arthit, "Can you drop me to school?" So Arthit says yes to her. Then Peng holds his hand. Seeing this, Arthit's mom gets a little angry, and she tells Arthit, "But you have to go to the farm for work, don't you?" Hearing this, Arthit says, "Yes, I will go later." Saying this, Arthit goes to drop Peng to her school. There, Peng asks him, "Can you also come to pick me up?" So Arthit says, "Yes, I will come to pick you up." Hearing this, Peng becomes happy. Now, after school, Peng shows Arthit her garden, which both of them had made together. Arthit is happy to see this and tells Peng, "You look very good while smiling." Hearing this, Peng hugs Arthit and says, "You always stay with me," and then both start clicking photos with the flowers. After this at night, Arthit is watching TV. Just then, Peng comes there and keeps her head on his shoulder and also holds Arthit's hand. Seeing this, Arthit does get a little confused, but he does not say anything to her. Seeing the two of them together like this, their two maids see them. In the next scene, Arthit's mom tells Peng, "Now you are growing up, therefore take care of your reputation." And she tells her, "Stay away from Arthit." Hearing this, Peng shouts and says, "I like Arthit. What is wrong in this?" Hearing this, Arthit's mom and dad are surprised. After this, when Peng goes to Arthit's room, Arthit is lying there asleep, so Peng starts looking at him. As soon as Arthit's eyes open, he is suddenly shocked and moves to the side. So Peng says, "I will be late for school." Hearing this, Peng quickly goes to take a shower. When Arthit comes back after taking a shower, Peng is still in his room, which Arthit finds awkward. So Peng gives him a shirt. Then Arthit, after wearing the shirt, tells her to go out. But Peng stands with her face turned to the side. And then Arthit tells her to go to school quickly, to which Pung says, "It's only 6 o'clock now. Come on, let's have breakfast." Hearing this, Arthit falls on the bed and says, "Oh my God, what should I do with this girl? She woke me up as if it were getting so late." On the other side, in school, Nang tells Peng, "Stay away from Arthit." So Peng ignores her and starts to leave. Then Nang calls her an orphan and starts saying bad things about her parents. Hearing this, Peng starts fighting with Nang, because of which Arthit's mom has to come to school. Then Peng says, "Nang started the fight first." Hearing this, Nang says while crying, "I didn't do anything. She beat me a lot." Then the principal tells Peng, "Clean the school." Seeing this, Nang starts laughing at her. Now, coming home, Arthit's mom tells him, "She slapped Nang in school." Hearing this, she talks to Peng loudly. So Arthit tells her, "Say sorry," but Peng does not listen to him. Then Arthit tries to take her forcefully. Then, by mistake, Peng's foot hits Arthit's mom, because of which the mom falls. Just then, Arthit's dad also arrives there. So Peng, seeing them, goes away from there. Then Arthit also goes after her and says, "If you say sorry to Mama Nang, I will not be angry with you." Hearing this, Peng starts crying and says, "Everyone hates me." Hearing this, Arthit explains to her, lovingly. On the other side, Arthit's dad tells Arthit's mom, "That day, Peng's dad asked me to get Peng married. Therefore, I promised him I will get Arthit and Peng married." Hearing this, the mom says, "I will never accept this." And just then, Peng and Arthit hear all these things. Hearing this, Peng is happy, but Arthit gets angry and he says, "Mom, I don't love Peng." Saying this, Arthit goes to his parents and says, "I will not marry Peng." Saying this, Arthit leaves from there in anger. Then Peng also goes after him and says, by catching him, "I love you." Hearing this, Arthit pushes Peng and leaves from there. Just then, Arthit's parents are watching all this. After this, Arthit's dad goes to Arthit and says, "I made a promise to Peng's dad, and this was his last wish before dying. Therefore, I will never break it." Hearing this, Arthit says, "This is my life, so I will take the decision too." Saying this, Arthit leaves from there and goes and tells everything to Thanon. Then Thanon tells him, "Try talking to Peng once." In the next scene, Arthit goes to Peng and says, "I consider you my sister and I love you like my sister, therefore I cannot marry you." But Peng does not listen to him and kisses him, because of which Arthit gets angry and leaves from there. Peng tries to stop him, but he pushes her again, so Peng falls down. But even then, while crying, she catches Arthit's feet, but Arthit leaves from there and Peng is left crying. On the other side, Arthit meets Thanon. So Arthit tells him, "I cannot stay here, therefore I am going to Bangkok, so will you come with me?" Hearing this, Thanon says, "Nothing will happen by running away." Hearing this, Arthit goes to Bangkok alone and tells his mom by calling her, "Now I will stay in Bangkok only." In the next scene, Arthit is drinking with his friends. Then Ling and Kot try to stop him. So Arthit tells both of them, "I want to be alone." Saying this, Arthit goes away and Ling goes after him. Seeing her, Arthit hugs her. Just then, Thanon also arrives there. Seeing the two of them like this, he leaves from there and feels a little sad because he likes Ling. And right there, Arthit tells Ling, "The girl I love is not Peng, but you, I like you and want to make you my girlfriend." Hearing this, Ling refuses him. Then Arthit says with a smile, "It's okay, because anyway, we cannot force anyone to love." Then Ling tells him, "Talk to Peng again." On the other side, as soon as Arthit's dad comes home, he asks Arthit's mom, "Has Peng eaten?" Hearing this, the mom says in a lot of anger, "This has all happened because of her," and goes away from there. And right there, Arthit's dad arrives. So Peng hides the diary. Then the dad brings food for her and tells her to eat, but Peng refuses. So he sits near her and starts eating the food, and she keeps watching. And she says, "I said a lot to Aunt, so if you want to scold me for that, you can scold me." Hearing this, Arthit's dad explains to her and feeds her with his own hands. Now, after eating, Peng used to message Arthit, "I am sorry," but Arthit would ignore her message. In the next scene, Thanon and Arthit were practicing football. Just then, Peng messages again. Then Kot and Ling see her message. Now at night, Peng messages Arthit again, but Arthit ignores her again and switches off his phone. In the next scene, Arthit's mom tells Duong to throw Peng's clothes outside. Then Duong picks up all of Peng's clothes and throws them outside. Seeing this, Peng goes upstairs and throws Arthit's mom's clothes down. Seeing this, Arthit's mom gets angry and calls the farm workers to catch Peng. But Peng climbs up a tree and Arthit's mom starts hitting her with a stick. Then Peng comes down and starts running, but a worker catches her. Then Peng bites his hand and pushes Duong and runs away from there. Then everyone is behind her, so Peng quickly runs to Arthit's dad and tells him, "Everyone is beating me." Hearing this, Arthit's dad asks her, "Why did you do such a mean thing?" To this, Peng says, "Aunt threw my clothes down, therefore I also threw her clothes down from the balcony." Hearing this, Arthit's dad starts laughing. And then they take Peng to the farm where Peng asks them, "When will Arthit come?" So Arthit's dad says, it will take 2 years for him to complete his graduation, so you wait. After this, Pung is sitting and looking at the flowers that she had planted with Arthit. Just then, she hears the farm workers talking, then she gets an idea. So she messages Arthit and says, my health is not good. Seeing this message, Arthit says, please, I am not a doctor, so don't tell me. Then Pung messages him, I am running away from home. Seeing this, Arthit says, do whatever you want to do. In the next scene, Arthit's dad comes home, so Pung tells them everything, how Arthit has bothered her. Hearing this, Arthit's dad gets angry with him, but Arthit asks his dad, throw her out of the house. But Arthit's dad does not listen to him. After this, Arthit's dad gives Pung a place for her flower project. Seeing this, Pung becomes happy and tells them her entire plan. Then Arthit's dad says, if your plan is successful, then I will give you this place. Hearing this, Pung refuses and says, if Arthit finds out about this, he will definitely kill me. Hearing this, Arthit's dad tells all the workers to help Peng. Now at night, Peng falls asleep while working, but just then, her eyes open and she feels very hungry. Therefore, she goes to the kitchen to eat food and is stealing food when just then Arthit arrives there. Seeing him, Peng is shocked, and when Arthit asks, she tells him, I was feeling very hungry, therefore I came to eat food. Saying this, she is shocked to see Arthit's body and thinks, he is quite strong, I should leave from here. And then Pung takes the food and leaves from there. The next day, Pung is again explaining the planning for her flower garden to Arthit's dad. Then Arthit's dad tells her, I will check your design at night. And then he gifts Pung a scooty. Seeing this, Pung becomes happy and tours the entire farm. In the next scene, Ling has returned from abroad. On the other side, Ping is going when just then she bumps into Kot. Both are happy to see each other. Then Kot takes Ping to Ling's restaurant, where Ping says to Ling, sorry for old things, and both hug each other. Then Ling asks her, is Arthit behaving badly with you? To this, Pung says, yes, a lot. Then Kot says, Arthit has worked day and night to grow the farm. In the next scene, Arthit comes to meet Ling, so Ling gives him bitter coffee. Arthit asks her, why did you give me this coffee? To this, Ling asks him, are you in your right mind? Then Kot says, will you take revenge on a little girl? Hearing this, Arthit says, you both must have been told by Peng, haven't you? Then Ling says, Peng said sorry to me, therefore I gave her a chance, so you also give her a chance and see. Just then, Thanon arrives there. So seeing him, Ling starts behaving like a couple with Arthit. Seeing this, Thanon becomes sad and leaves from there. Then Arthit asks Ling the reason for doing this. So Ling says, there are some reasons, just help me. On the other side, Thanon is going back when just then he meets Pung on the way. Then Pung shows him the design of her garden. So Thanon tells her to make some changes. Then Pung asks Thanon for help in setting the budget too. Then Thanon agrees. So Pung says thank you to him. Just then, Arthit arrives there and tells Thanon, I have to talk to you about something important. Saying this, both go to the side. Then Arthit tells Thanon, stay away from Peng. Hearing this, Thanon says, I was just helping her with the design. Hearing this, Arthit says, are you my friend or Peng's? So Thanon says, please stop behaving like children. By the way, Peng is my friend and she is single. If I want to date her, I can. Hearing this, Arthit says, if you date Peng, I will break my friendship with you. Then Thanon says, you are also dating Ling. So did I break my friendship? Saying this, Thanon leaves. After this, Arthit goes to Peng and says, stop following my friend Thanon. Hearing this, Pung says, first your mom insulted me and now you are doing it. Will I get some peace? Just then, Pung's eyes fall on a snake, so she hugs Arthit and starts shouting. Seeing this, Arthit pushes her away and asks, where is the snake? Then Pung tells him, it's there. But Arthit tells Pung, the snakes are in your hair. Hearing this, Pung gets scared and starts shouting. Then Arthit starts laughing at her. Seeing this, Pung gets angry and starts to leave. Then Arthit also goes after her. So Pung asks him, why are you following me? To this, Arthit says, because I am worried about my friend Thanon. I don't know what you will do with him. Hearing this, Peng says, okay, if you are so worried about him, then call him and ask. As Arthit calls Thanon, Thanon is standing right next to him. Seeing this, Arthit is surprised. And then Thanon and Peng start talking. So Arthit is watching both of them. Seeing this, Thanon says, don't you have any other work? Hearing this, Arthit says, I warned you already to stay away from this girl, but you did not listen to me. If she does something wrong with you, don't say anything to me. Saying this, Arthit leaves in anger. The next day, Pung is talking to the workers. Just then, Arthit also arrives there and tells all the workers, stop helping Pung and go back. But Pung stops them from going back and tells Arthit, all these people are working under me. To this, Arthit says, but I am the one who gives them salary. Pung says, Uncle has given us permission to work together. But Arthit again tells all the workers to go back. But Pung stops all of them again and tells Arthit, go and talk to Uncle about this. Hearing this, he gets angry. And Arthit tells Peng, stop threatening me in the name of my dad. Now I will show you who the real boss is. Saying this, Arthit leaves from there. Well, while they were all doing their respective work, after a while, Arthit arrives there with a tractor and bothers Pung a lot. Then, in the next scene, Arthit tells his worker uncle to take care of the transportation. But the worker uncle is busy finding something there. So Arthit asks him, "What exactly are you looking for?" To this, the uncle says, "This morning, a dog bothered Ping a lot, so I am looking for the same one." Hearing this, Arthit understands that the uncle is talking about him. So he gets angry and tells the uncle, "You must find that dog." To this, the uncle says, "It must be some mad dog." Hearing this, Arthit gets angry and goes to his car. Just then, the worker uncle comes and tells him, "Your car's tire is punctured." Seeing this, Arthit says, "This work must definitely be Peng's." On the other side, Peng was talking to An. Just then, after a while, Arthit also arrives there and tries to take Peng away by pulling her forcefully, but Peng tries to free her herself, but Arthit picks her up and forcefully makes her sit in his car. So Anne asks Arthit, "What exactly are you going to do with Peng?" To this, Arthit says, "Today, she will die a very bad death." After this, he makes Peng sit and drives the car very fast and turns it round and round. And after turning it round and round for a long time, Arthit asks Peng, "Will you still not listen to me?" To this, Peng says, "Yes." Hearing this, Arthit again starts turning the car round and round. Because of this, Peng starts feeling like vomiting, so Arthit lets her out of the car. So Peng asks him, "Where exactly are you taking me?" To this, Arthit says, "To kill you." Hearing this, Peng gets scared. So Arthit asks her, "Are you feeling scared?" To this, Peng says, "You will have to go to jail after killing me." To this, Arthit says, "Stop threatening me because I also barely escaped death because of you." After this, Arthit starts calling the police, but Peng stops him from doing so. So Arthit pushes her and tells her to stay away from him. After that, he makes Peng sit in the car and goes to meet a client. Well, when both of them are coming back, Peng starts going the wrong way. Seeing this, Arthit pulls her and takes her with him. Now, while going back home, Arthit intentionally takes his car through the wrong path. Because of this, his car gets stuck in the mud. Seeing this, Peng gets very angry at him while calling Arthit dumb. So Arthit tells Peng, "Go behind and push." Peng is shocked, but she has to do this work even if she doesn't want to. But Arthit intentionally bothers Peng a lot and laughs a lot while watching her from inside. After working hard for a long time, the car finally comes out. Because of this, poor Peng's clothes all get dirty, but then Peng starts sitting in the car. But Arthit locks the car door and says, "Your clothes are dirty, so my car will also get dirty. Therefore, you go and sit in the back." Hearing this, when Peng goes and sits in the back, Arthit drives the car very fast to bother her. Now, after reaching home, seeing Peng like this, Anne is shocked. But Arthit smiles and tells Peng, "Now go home and think about how you have to escape from me, and I will think about how to bother you next time." Hearing this, Peng calls him merciless. But before Arthit comes out of his car, Peng runs away from there. Seeing this, Arthit smiles and leaves from there. Now at night, Ling's car breaks down. So Thanon tells her, "I can drop you home." But Ling refuses to do so and says, "I will call Arthit." She calls Arthit, but Arthit does not pick up her call. Seeing this, Thanon takes Ling from there. The next day, a small child runs away with An's wallet, but Peng catches him and says, "Stealing is not a good thing." After which she brings him with her to work and later also gives him money. Just then, Arthit and Ling come to meet Peng. So Arthit asks the child, "Why did you steal? I had already given you so much money. So what did you do with them?" To this, the child says, "I gave that money to my mommy to buy medicines for grandma because her health is quite bad." Hearing this, Arthit says, "Why didn't you tell me about this before? I would have taken them to the hospital." Hearing this, that child becomes happy and tells Arthit, "Now I will help you in clicking photos." But Arthit silences him and says, "This is a secret between us, so please don't speak it loudly, otherwise someone will hear." And right there, Ling tells Peng, "You have changed a lot." To this, Peng says, "Everything has changed here too, except for Arthit, because he is getting older day by day." Hearing this, Arthit himself is also shocked. Then Peng says, "If Arthit keeps getting angry like this, one day he will die of cancer." Just then, Arthit also arrives there and tells Peng, "If you also speak ill of people like this, you will die very soon." After this, Arthit speaks quite ill of Peng to Ling too, so Peng gets up and leaves from there. On the other side, Arthit's dad goes to Thanon and says thank you to him for helping Peng and says, "You take care of Peng like this." So Thanon also says yes to them. Now in the next scene, Arthit and Peng are sitting in the office because Arthit's dad, at Arthit's request, had also told Peng to work under Arthit. Therefore, Arthit tells Peng, "In the morning you will have to work in my farm and at night in my rose garden." Hearing this, Peng is shocked and starts to leave from there. But Arthit stops her and sticks a note on her head in which Pung's work schedule is written. Pung refuses to do all this, so Arthit says, I am your boss and you will have to do what I say. After this at night, Arthit is looking at Pung's photo in his phone. The next morning, Arthit tells his dad and mom, today is the death anniversary of Pung's mom and dad, so I am going to the temple with her. And then Arthit's dad tells the mom, go to the temple with us, but Arthit's mom refuses to go anywhere with Peng. After a while, Arthit also arrives and tells the dad, your meeting is quite late, isn't it? So where are you going now? Hearing this, the dad remembers, today I have my meeting. So Arthit's mom says, let Pung go to the temple alone. To which the dad says, but I promised Pung that I would go with her. Saying this, the dad looks at Arthit. After this, Arthit and Pung are in the temple where Arthit asks the priest, can we also have a prayer done for living people? So the priest says, yes, you can do it for the sick and for your enemies. Seeing this, Arthit looks at Pung and says, I want to do it for my enemies. To this, the priest tells Arthit, you can have the prayer done, but keep this in mind that you will not hurt anyone. Hearing this, Pung says, if I hurt them, so the priest says, if you hurt them, then it will be considered a sin. Hearing this, Peng teases Arthit, and when Peng is doing the prayer, Arthit is watching her. Then after finishing all the work, when both are going back home, just then, a child comes and starts bursting firecrackers. Hearing its sound, Pung gets very scared because she remembers the suicide scene of her dad, and because of this, she faints there. So Arthit goes and helps her. But even after fainting, Pung was repeatedly calling out only her dad's name, hearing which Arthit is also a bit shocked. When Peng regains consciousness, Arthit sits away from her and says, stop looking at me like that because you had fainted, so I was just helping you. Now, after going home, Arthit asks his mom, why did Peng have that prayer done for her dad? Hearing this, the mom tells Arthit, this prayer is done when someone has killed someone or someone has committed suicide. After hearing this, Arthit keeps thinking about Pung even at night as to why exactly Pung fainted in fear and why she had such a prayer done for her dad. In the next scene, that child's mobile breaks, so he tells a worker there, Sape, fix my mobile. When Sape takes that mobile, he is shocked to see Peng's photo in it and goes and shows Peng her photo. The child stops Sape, but Sape does not listen to him and shows Peng the photo. So Peng is shocked to see that photo and asks him, who told you to do this? The child was not saying anything, so Sape says, tell the truth. Otherwise, I will tell your mommy about this. Hearing this, the child tells, Arthit told me to do all this. Hearing this, Pung feels very angry, and she clicks a photo of herself in which she has an injury on her head and sends it to Arthit. On the other side, Arthit and Thanon were having a meeting. As soon as Arthit sees Peng's photo, he tells Thanon to handle the meeting and himself immediately reaches the farm. But as soon as he reaches there, he receives another photo in which she is standing behind Arthit. As Arthit turns, Pung is standing behind him. So Arthit sees her and starts to leave, so Pung stops him and asks about the photos, but Arthit refuses to tell and says, this is my job and 4 CCTV cameras are installed here. I can see everything that any worker is doing. Hearing this, Pung says, I can even file a case against you for this. Then Arthit says, what kind of case will you file against me for this? Saying this, Arthit leaves. On the other side, Ling takes the worker to show the work, but she forgets her bag there. So Thanon picks up her bag. Then in Ling's bag, he sees the doll that he had given to Ling many years ago. And seeing this, Thanon finds out, Ling also likes me. After this, Thanon goes to Arthit and asks him about Ling. So Arthit says, I didn't tell you that I am dating Ling. Rather, Ling herself told me to do all this. But now what will you do? Hearing this, Thanon says, I will see for myself what I have to do. In the next scene, all the workers are very happy because of getting their salary, and all of them start going for a trip somewhere. Then Peng also agrees to go with them. So Arthit tells his dad they are going for a trip, to which the dad says, let them go. And then when Peng also gets into the car with the workers, Arthit stops her and says, will you go with them just like this? Peng answers, yes. So Arthit's dad tells Peng to go in the car, but Peng refuses and says, there is no petrol in my car, therefore please uncle, let me go with them. Then Arthit's dad agrees, because of which everyone becomes happy, so Arthit starts smiling while looking at Peng. After this, after doing all this shopping, they go to a restaurant where Arthit also goes. So Peng asks him, what are you doing here? To this, Arthit says, I am a regular customer here. And then Arthit starts playing rock, paper, scissors with a worker, in which Arthit wins, and everyone starts eating together. There, Sape and Arthit drink a lot, so Peng starts laughing at them. Seeing this, Arthit says to Sape, keep an eye on her, lest she forces me again. Hearing this, Peng gets irritated and says, now I don't even want you for free. Hearing this, Arthit gets close to Peng and says, say again what you said. Then Peng says, now I don't even want you for free. Hearing this, Arthit gets angry, and then everyone starts dancing together. where Arthit is doing a very funny dance, so Ping secretly makes a video of him. Now, because of drinking too much, Ping brings Arthit home, but Arthit sits outside only. So Ping tells Arthit to come inside and sleep and is taking him inside. But Arthit tells her, "Take me to the swing." Hearing this, Peng takes Arthit to the swing where Arthit pinches Peng's cheeks with a pillow and also kisses her. Peng was trying to stop him, but Arthit catches her face and kisses her. Just then, Arthit's mom arrives there, so Peng leaves the keys there and runs away. The next morning, when Arthit opens his eyes, his mom is sitting in front of him and she says to Arthit, "Do you have any feelings for Peng in your heart? What did you do with Peng last night?" And then the mom tells Arthit everything. Hearing this, Arthit is shocked. On the other side, Peng is going to the garden looking here and there and prays to God, "Oh, please let me not face Arthit today." But just then she bumps into Arthit. So Arthit says, "You are doing all this intentionally so that you can be close to me." So Peng says, "Okay, so tell me what you did with me last night." Hearing this, Arthit gets angry and says, "From today, you will only work in your garden." Hearing this, Peng becomes happy. Then Arthit tells her, "I will install CCTV cameras in 4 directions in your garden so that I can keep an eye on you." Hearing this, Peng gets angry and leaves. In the next scene, Peng gets ready and stands outside her room when just then Arthit comes to her and starts asking about her gardens. Just then, Thanon comes in his car, so Peng goes with him for shopping. Seeing this, Arthit gets angry. So Thanon tells Peng, "You are looking very good today," and starts taking Peng with him. So Arthit quickly goes to her and stops Peng from sitting in the car and asks, "Where are you taking my friend?" To which Thanon says, "We are going for shopping." Hearing this, Arthit says, "I asked you." And then he tells Thanon to go back. So Thanon says, "Uncle told me to take care of Peng, therefore we are going to buy some necessary items." Hearing this, Arthit says, "Peng is my employee, therefore I will take her for shopping." Then Peng says, sorry to Thanon for wasting his time. So Thanon leaves from there. Then Arthit and Peng come for shopping where whatever item Peng would take, Arthit would tell her to put it back and says, "Only take the items that are necessary." Just then, Peng receives a call from her friend. Hearing it, Peng starts going to Bangkok. So Arthit tells her, "I am taking you there." Then Peng tells him, "My friend's step-parents have thrown her out of the house." Now, after reaching Bangkok, Peng tries to persuade her friend's parents, "Please let my friend stay." But they get angry and start throwing water on Peng, but Arthit saves Peng, because of which all his clothes get wet. So Arthit tells them, "She can file a case against you, therefore keep your lawyer ready." After this, Peng takes everyone to her Bangkok house, where she gives Arthit her friend's clothes to wear. So Arthit refuses. At this, Peng says, "I don't have any other dress, therefore you wear this. I will wash your clothes and it will take time for them to dry." Then Arthit wears that dress, in which he feels very awkward and everyone else laughs at him. Then Arthit tells Peng, "I am feeling hungry, make food for me." So Peng tells him, "Go out and eat." To this, Arthit says, "I am not going anywhere in these clothes." Then Peng calls her aunt and orders food. Just then, after a while, the food arrives, so everyone starts eating together. Then Arthit asks Peng, "Do you still like me? Because you haven't made any boyfriend yet." So Peng says, "I don't want any boyfriend." Then Arthit says, "Are you still waiting for me?" Hearing this, Peng hits his foot hard with her foot and says, "Keep your mouth shut." Then Arthit says, "At least respect me a little in front of your friends." Then Peng says, "They know everything." So Arthit says, "What have you told them?" Then Peng's friends call him, "You are Peng's ex-boyfriend." So Arthit starts looking at her. In the next scene, these two come back to their village where at night, Peng is watching that same dance video of Arthit and starts laughing loudly. And then she also sends that same video to Arthit. Seeing this video, Arthit is shocked. Then Peng messages him, "By tomorrow morning, this video will go viral on the internet." Hearing this, Arthit is even more shocked. The next morning, when Peng comes out of her room, seeing him, Peng immediately closes the door. But Arthit goes inside and asks for her phone, but Peng refuses him. So Arthit tries to snatch the mobile from her and makes her fall on the bed. During this, both get very close to each other. And then Arthit takes the phone and asks Peng for its password. Peng does not tell the password, so Arthit forcefully turns on the phone with her fingerprint and deletes his video and starts leaving from there. Then Peng tells him to make an agreement. Arthit asks her, "What kind of agreement?" So Peng says, "As long as I am here, we both will not bother each other. And anyway, now I don't have feelings for you in my heart anymore." Hearing this, Arthit says, "But I still don't trust you." So Peng makes him sit near her while holding his hand and says, "If I still liked you, my heart would beat fast." But it didn't happen like that. Hearing this, Arthit keeps looking at Peng and says, "This could also be some new trick of yours to trap me." Saying this, Arthit leaves. On the other side, Thanon goes to Arthit's dad and says, "This time for the school donation, I want to take Peng with me too." So Arthit's dad gives him permission to take Pung, and they tell Thanon to take care of Pung. Hearing this, Thanon goes to Pung and says, Dad has given permission. Hearing this, Pung becomes happy, and then both, at the suggestion of Arthit's dad, go to Arthit's house to eat. Seeing them, Arthit is shocked and says, Thanon, who invited you here? Then Arthit's dad says, I invited them here. Hearing this, Arthit says, but Thanon could have eaten at his own house, couldn't he? Then Arthit's dad says to him, you should be happy to see your friend. Then Thanon first makes Peng sit, and then sits himself. So Arthit is looking only at him. Then Thanon says, Peng is a good girl, and Peng also praises Thanon and calls him good. Hearing all this, Arthit says, both of you are very good at praising each other. And then Thanon serves food to Peng, so Arthit is looking only at them. Thanon asks Peng, what happened? So Peng says, I shouldn't have come here. Then Thanon tells her to ignore Arthit. Well, Arthit hears all their talk and tells Thanon, eat quickly, I have to talk to you. Now, after eating, they all come out. So Arthit tells Peng to go and stops Thanon. But Thanon stops Peng right there and tells her to walk with him. So Arthit tells Thanon, you like Ling, don't you? So then why are you staying with Peng like this? Seeing the actions of both of you, and now even my parents have started to think that both of you are dating each other. Hearing this, Thanon says, Peng is just like my younger sister. Arthit tells him, stay away from Peng. Seeing all this, Arthit gets angry and he says to Sape, I have given Peng too much free time lately, so go and tell Peng to come to the farm and work. Hearing this, Peng comes to Arthit and says, can he not tolerate her happiness? Arthit tells Peng, Thanon does not like you. To this, Peng says, it doesn't matter to me whether Thanon likes me or not, but I can do anything for Thanon because he is handsome and also a gentleman. Hearing all this, Arthit gets quite angry. He tells Peng, earlier you were crazy for me. To this, Peng says, earlier I was crazy for you because I was a small innocent child who didn't know anything. Then Peng asks Arthit, what work is to be done? So Arthit tells her, count all the tomatoes on the farm. Peng says, I will not be able to count so many tomatoes. At this, Arthit says, you yourself said that you can do everything. Hearing this, Peng starts counting tomatoes and Arthit is looking only at her. After a while, Sape comes there and takes Arthit. After this, Peng goes back to her room. Then a camera is installed there. Seeing which, Peng starts to remove that camera, but just then she falls down, due to which her foot gets injured. Now in the hospital, Arthit is with Peng, so Peng asks him, how did you know that I got hurt? Hearing this, Arthit says, you shouted so loudly that the entire farm found out. And then both start going back home. Then Peng is not able to walk, so Arthit brings a wheelchair for her. Peng refuses, but Arthit forcefully makes her sit. After this, both reach home. Then Arthit tells An to take Peng to the room and give her medicine. But just then, Arthit notices that Peng is not able to walk, so he picks up Peng and takes her to her room. Seeing this, Peng is left shocked. Then Arthit makes her sit in the room and starts applying ice to her foot. Seeing this, Peng says, why are you doing this? So Arthit says, I want you to get well soon and work. I cannot give you a free salary. So Peng says, Anne could have done this work too. So Arthit says, your foot should have been hit on your face instead. Just then, Anne goes away from there, making an excuse of cooking. In the next scene, Arthit and Ling are waiting for Thanon when just then Thanon arrives there with Peng. Seeing this, Arthit is left shocked. So Thanon says, I have taken permission for this from Uncle. And then everyone goes to give a hospital donation, and then they go to a restaurant. There, Thanon serves food to Peng, so Ling and Arthit are just watching them. And then Arthit asks them, what is going on between you two? So Thanon holds Peng's hand and says, we both are dating each other? Hearing this, Arthit gets angry and leaves from there. Then Ling also leaves on the pretext of going after Arthit. Now, after this, they all start setting up tents where Thanon goes to help Ling, so Ling tells him to help Peng, so Thanon says she knows how to set up a tent. Then Arthit asks Thanon, where do you intend to sleep? To which Thanon says, I will sleep near Peng. Hearing this, Arthit starts getting angry. So Thanon tells Peng it is not affecting Ling as much as it is affecting Arthit. Now, at night, Ling and Arthit are sitting, but Arthit is looking only for Peng and Thanon. Just then, Thanon and Peng are watching them, at which Thanon says, just hold my hand once and walk there. Then Peng agrees, and both go there holding each other's hands. So Arthit says to Thanon, are you showing the way to an ox? Then Thanon tells him, respect Peng. At this, Arthit says, why should I respect her? Then Thanon says, because Peng is my girlfriend. Hearing this, Ling leaves from there. Then Thanon also goes after her. Peng also starts leaving from there, but Arthit catches her and asks, why are you dating Thanon? To which Peng says, this is my life. So Arthit says, do you want to die at my hands? To this, Peng says, even if you kill me, no one will come to look for me because I don't have any family. nor will anyone save me. Hearing this, Arthit leaves in anger. The next morning, the four go to the school to make a donation, where they ask the principal for a room to stay. Then the principal says, yes, there are 2 rooms. I will have the children clean them. To which Ling says, no, we will do it. And then they all feed the children. Where Ling goes to wash her hands, Thanon helps her wash her hands and cleans the stain on her pants. Then Ling says thank you to him. After this, these 4 start cleaning the room where Thanon and Peng start their drama to make them jealous. Thanon asks Peng for water to drink, to which Peng says, my hands are dirty. Hearing this, Thanon gives her water with his own hands. Seeing this, Arthit gets angry, because of which he gets injured while working, so he leaves from there. Ling starts going after him, so Thanon stops her and tells Peng to go, and himself starts cleaning with Ling, so Ling tells him, you don't worry about me, Peng will feel bad. Then Thanon says, this will not happen. Hearing this, Ling leaves, so Thanon also goes after her. On the other side, Peng goes to Arthit and starts applying medicine to him, but Arthit refuses. But Peng puts a bandage on him. Seeing this, Arthit removes that bandage in anger, so Peng says, don't hate me so much. So Arthit says, this is impossible, and stands with his face turned away. Right there, on the other side, Thanon tells Ling, Peng and I are not dating. I did all this to know your feelings, in which Peng was helping me. Hearing this, Ling is shocked. Then, Thanon holds Ling's hand and explains to her and asks her, will you enter into a relationship with me? To which Ling does not give any answer. Now at night, they all are eating when, just then, the waiter gives them the special drink of that place. After drinking which, Peng gets drunk and bumps into a tree, and then starts scolding the tree. Just then, Thanon comes and starts handling Peng, so Peng says, I feel thirsty. Just then, Arthit also arrives there and tells Thanon, I will take care of Peng because she is mine. Hearing this, Thanon is shocked, so Arthit says, I mean, she is my employee. But Thanon does not listen to him, and both start insisting on taking Peng. Hearing this, Peng gets angry and says, divide me into 2 parts and both of you take 1 each. Just then the waiter comes and says, the other girl who was with you has also gotten drunk. Hearing this, Thanon immediately leaves, so Arthit tells Peng, walk properly. But Peng tells him, you always bother me, therefore I will not go with you. Arthit keeps looking at her. Then Peng says while crying, I hate you very much. Hearing this, Arthit picks up Peng and brings her to her room and makes her sleep in the room. Then Peng says, do you consider yourself handsome? Now even if someone gives me 10 million or 20 million, I will still not take interest in you. You were very good before, now you are not. Just then, Peng falls asleep, so Arthit lets her lie down. Just then, Arthit remembers that this is not her room, therefore he starts waking up Peng. But Peng does not get up from there, so Arthit sleeps right next to Peng and keeps looking at her. Then Arthit tries to sleep, but his eyes do not move from her. Just then, Peng catches hold of Arthit, seeing which Arthit gets scared and tries to remove Peng, but she does not remove him due to being asleep. Then Arthit also falls asleep. The next morning, when Arthit's eyes open, he quickly picks up his things and leaves from there so that Peng does not find out. On the other side, Thanon goes to Ling and says, you haven't given me your answer yet. Will you come into a relationship with me? Hearing this, Ling says yes. So Thanon hugs Ling. Just then, Peng is happy to see the 2 of them. After this, Nang also arrives there with Kot and tries to fight with Peng again, but Peng ignores her and starts to leave. But Nang catches her hair. Just then, a boy arrives there who helps Peng and scolds Nang. Then Peng says thank you to that boy. This boy's name is Mark. Peng has met him before, therefore both sit and start talking. Just then, Nang goes and tells them all, Peng is with some boy. Hearing this, everyone goes behind Nang where Peng is talking to Mark, and then Peng gets up and comes. So Arthit and Mark start looking at each other. Then Arthit takes Peng away from there. And then in the car, he asks Peng about that boy. So Peng says, I don't know. In the next scene, after coming back, Peng is working in the garden, because of which her shoulder starts to pain, but still she keeps working continuously. Just then, Arthit is watching Peng working. So Sape comes and asks Arthit, what are you doing here? So Arthit tells him, I am keeping an eye on Peng. As Arthit looks at Peng, she is not there, because of which Arthit starts looking for her. Then he sees that Anne is pressing Peng's shoulder and tells her, get yourself checked by a doctor once, otherwise your health will get worse. To this, Peng says, I will prove to Arthit that I have changed, even if my life goes in this process. Hearing this, Arthit feels bad. After this, when Peng is sitting alone, Arthit comes and gives her medicine. So Peng asks, what is the reason for this medicine? So Arthit says, I want to know its result. And then Arthit massages her shoulder. Then Peng remembers their old memory, because of which she refuses Arthit. But Arthit, after massaging her shoulder well, sits near her and gives her the medicine and says, tell the result after applying this. And then he tells Peng, go home and rest. Just then, Peng receives a call from Mark. So Peng starts talking to him. So Arthit tells her, don't use the mobile while working. Then Peng says, "You yourself told me to rest." To this, Arthit says, "But working time is going on right now." And then Arthit takes the mobile and goes into her room. So Peng also goes after him and says, "You don't have the right to enter someone's room just like this." So Arthit says, "But I have the right to enter an employee's room." Saying this, he starts eating an orange. So Peng tells him to go out, but Arthit refuses and sits right there. Then Peng looks at him in anger and then goes to wash her clothes. Now, after a while, Peng comes after washing her clothes and sees that Arthit is asleep. So Peng goes near him and says, "This is not a hotel where you can sleep anywhere." Peng feels that Arthit is acting, but when Arthit does not wake up, Peng quietly takes her mobile and starts checking whether Arthit has a fever. But just then, Arthit's eyes open and he says, "You are doing something wrong with me again." Peng refuses and says, "I was checking if you have a fever." And then she starts to leave after freeing her hand. But just then, accidentally she falls on top of Arthit, because of which both end up kissing. Seeing this, Arthit is shocked, so Peng says sorry to him. After this, Arthit smiles seeing Peng's product. Just then, his dad comes there and tells him, "Help Peng with marketing." Then Arthit agrees and starts working with Peng. Just then, Arthit's mom notices this and starts scolding Peng and says, "This girl is doing black magic on my Arthit," because of which Arthit stays with her all day. Hearing this, Arthit's dad says, "I only told Arthit to work with Peng. Nothing is going on between these two." But the mom starts scolding Peng. Seeing this, Arthit feels bad. So Peng sits on her knees and says sorry to Arthit's mom and says, "I have only come here to work." Seeing this, Arthit feels even worse. Saying this, Peng leaves. The next day, at his mom's suggestion, Arthit is going for a walk with Nang when just then he receives a call from Thanon, who invites him for lunch. So Arthit refuses, because of which Thanon tells him Ling has also called Peng and cuts the call. On the other side, Peng, Thanon, Ling, and Kot are eating together. After eating, everyone is sitting and talking when just then the doorbell rings. So as Peng opens the door, Arthit is there. Seeing him, Peng gets angry and sits down. Now, to make their mood better, they all talk about funny things, but those two are still sitting with long faces. For this reason, Ling and Thanon leave from there on the pretext of bringing something to eat. Then Kot also goes after them. Seeing this, Peng also starts to leave from there, but Arthit catches her and makes her sit near him. So Peng tells him, "Why are you following me?" To this, Arthit says, "Thanon invited me." Hearing this, Peng says, "If I had known that you were going to come here, I would have never come here." Then Arthit says, "You don't know what a big sacrifice I made to come here." Hearing this, Peng starts to leave from there, so Arthit stops her. Just then, Peng receives a call from Mark, so Peng receives the call. So Arthit, upon hearing Mark's name, takes the mobile from Peng and says, "Peng is busy right now." So Mark asks him, "Who are you?" To this, Arthit says, "Whoever I am, currently Peng is busy. Whatever work you have, tell me, I will inform her." Then Mark says, "No, this is a private matter. I will call Peng later." Hearing this, Arthit gets angry and says to Mark, "I also have the right to know Peng's private matter." Just then, Thanon, Ling, and Kot are also watching them. So Arthit says to Mark, "And yes, don't call Peng again," and cuts the call. Then Peng starts to leave from there while crying, so Arthit catches her hand. So Peng says while crying, "Now I don't even have the right to go home." Just then, Ling comes and frees Arthit's hand. Now after Peng has left, everyone gets angry with Arthit and tells him, "Say sorry to Peng." Then Arthit leaves from there. In the next scene, Arthit has come out for a walk with Nang. Right there, on the other side, Mark and Peng have also come for a walk. Now Arthit and Nang are eating in a restaurant where Nang says, "After eating, we will go for a movie and to a bar." Hearing this, Arthit says, "You shouldn't talk like this in front of boys." Then Nang says, "I haven't come with my dad or brother." Just then, Peng and Mark also come to the same restaurant. Seeing them, Nang says to Arthit, "Should I also wear clothes like that girl?" Then Arthit looks towards them and is left shocked. He is jealous seeing Peng with Mark, and, after telling Nang to wait in the car outside, he himself goes and sits near Peng and asks Peng lovingly, "Who is this?" and fixes her shirt. Peng says, "Do you know him?" Then Arthit says, "Oh, this is the same customer you told me about." Saying this, Arthit shakes hands with Mark and then says to Peng, "Dear, come home soon. I will wait for you." Saying this, Arthit gets close to Peng and says, "If you don't come home in 2 hours, I will kill you." Hearing this, Peng looks at him in anger. After this, a blast occurs near their garden, because of which dust spreads in their farm, and because of this same dust, everyone starts having irritation. And a factory owner has done this. Therefore, Thanon and Arthit go to talk to that factory owner, whose name is Dandin. Both of them were talking to that worker when just then Mark arrives there. Seeing Mark, Thanon and Arthit suspect him, and Thanon starts investigating about him. On the other side, Mark goes to his building, so the secretary there tells him, "Some boy was asking about you." And then that secretary shows Mark the CCTV footage in which Thanon is present. The next day, Ling is going to her restaurant when just then Mark scares her with his car, and then comes out and says sorry. Then Ling leaves saying, "It's okay." So Mark follows her and reaches her restaurant. Ling asks him, "Were you following me?" At which Mark says, "I have come here new, and I like this place very much. Can I eat here?" Then Ling serves him food. So Mark tells Ling also to sit near him. So Ling sits there. After a while, Thanon arrives there. So Mark says hi to him. Hearing this, Ling says, "Do you guys know each other?" Then Mark says, "Yes, he had come to ask my secretary about me." Saying this, Mark leaves. So Thanon goes after him and asks, "Why did you come here?" To which Mark says, "Stay away from my matters." Hearing this, Thanon gives him his card and tells him, "Stay away from Ling." Then Mark throws that card and leaves from there. After this, Mark goes to Dane Din. So Dane Din tells him, "You know the way to impress girls very well. You even impressed a very rich girl whose name was Chin." Now here we find out that Chin was none other than Peng's mom. Hearing this, Mark becomes sad and tells Dane Din, "Get to work." On the other side, Peng is sitting in the room and working. Just then, Arthit tells An, "Leave from here," and himself sits behind her. Then Peng, thinking Arthit is An, asks him for scissors. So Arthit gives her the scissors. Then Peng tells him to put the thread into the needle, so Arthit starts putting the thread into the needle, but he was not able to put the thread. For this reason, as Peng looks back, she gets so Arthit says, "Don't be afraid, I am not a thief." Hearing this, Peng says, "If you were a thief, I would have killed you long ago." Hearing this, Arthit starts laughing. So Peng asks, "What is the reason for coming here?" First, Arthit refuses and then goes close to her and says, "I want Mark's number." Hearing this, Peng refuses to give the number. So Arthit says, "I am asking nicely." But Peng still refuses to give the number. So Arthit looks at her mobile on the table. Seeing this, Peng quickly picks up her mobile. So Arthit also comes near her. Peng tries to remove him, but Arthit stays standing right there and tries to take the mobile from her. Peng does not give the mobile, so Arthit says, "I will stay standing like this." Peng asks, "What is the reason?" So Arthit says, "I am asking nicely." Then Peng says good things about Mark, so Arthit catches her. Then Peng remembers, Arthit doesn't like my touch at all. Therefore, Peng starts touching Arthit and says, "Now I have started liking you." And then she thinks, why is Arthit not saying anything to me? Thinking this, she starts hugging Arthit, but Arthit gets nervous and pushes her back and runs away from there. So Peng starts laughing, seeing him run away. In the next scene, an exhibition is held at the farm where Anne and Peng are working. So Arthit is happy to see Peng. As Peng starts to leave, Arthit stops her and says, "People from the organization will be coming. Don't you go anywhere." Just then, Arthit's dad comes with the organization people. They are very happy to see Peng's flowers and shrubs and praise Peng and Arthit a lot, because of which Peng is very happy. So Arthit is also smiling while looking at her. Just then, the dad also smiles looking at Arthit. After this, when Peng is standing at her stall, then a man comes and asks her, "Is this your car?" To which Peng says, "Yes." Then that person says, "While reversing the car, it hit this car. Come once and see." Hearing this, Peng goes after that man. Just then, Arthit also sees her going and starts going after her. Just then, Nong comes and catches Arthit and tells him to walk with her. So Arthit says, "I am in a hurry," and leaves from there. But Peng is not visible anywhere. On the other side, Mark receives some photos of Peng, seeing which he smiles. Now here we find out that Mark himself has had Peng kidnapped. And right there, Arthit tells all his other friends, "Look for her." On the other side, Peng comes out of the car and runs. So those men run after her. Then Peng falls down. Then those men catch her. But just then, Arthit arrives there and starts beating them. But one of those men catches Peng and tells Arthit, "Stop!" Just then, Mark arrives there and he is shocked to see Arthit's car. Then those men start beating Arthit. Then Arthit fights with them again. Peng also gets herself free. Just then, those men come and start hitting Peng with a stick. But Arthit saves Peng. But because of this, Arthit gets injured, and he faints and falls down. Peng tries to wake him up, but Arthit does not wake up. Just then, Mark is watching all this, and he calls his men and says, "Take both of them to the warehouse." After this, those men take both of them to the warehouse, where Arthit also regains consciousness, and he asks Peng, "Are you okay?" So Peng says, "Yes, I am okay, but are you okay?" So Arthit answers, "Yes," and says, "Don't be afraid. We both will find the way out of here together." And then Arthit unties Peng's hands, so Peng also unties Arthit's hands. Arthit tells her, "Why are you so afraid?" At which Peng says, "I am not worried about myself, but but about you, because if something happens to you, there will be no one to ask, but if something happens to you, what answer will I give to your parents? Hearing this, Arthit wipes her tears and says, nothing will happen to us. We will come out together. Saying this, Arthit starts looking for the way out. Just then, he finds the way. Then both start going out. Then those men see them, but Peng and Arthit run out and hide. Arthit tells Peng, if you go straight from here, you will find the road. I will keep an eye on these men, and you run away and bring someone for help. Hearing this, Peng says, I cannot leave you alone. So Arthit says, you will have to go from here. If you don't go, we both will die. And then after telling Peng to run, Arthit himself comes out and tells those men, hey, catch me and show. Saying this, Arthit runs away and all the men go after him, but they are not able to catch Arthit, and Arthit hides behind a tree. Just then, someone fires from behind him. Hearing this sound, Peng gets scared and starts looking for Arthit again. Just then, Mark comes there, so Peng goes to him. Mark asks her, what are you doing here? Come on, let's go. To which Peng says, Arthit is in danger. I will not go without him. Then Mark makes her sit in the car and himself goes from there. Right there, Arthit is fighting with those men, when just then Mark comes and shoots him in the shoulder, because of which Arthit falls down. So Mark comes near Arthit and starts to shoot him again, but just then Peng comes to Arthit, seeing which Mark starts running, but just then the police arrive in front, seeing which Mark hides. And right there, Peng is crying seeing Arthit, so Arthit tells her to keep quiet. Just then, Peng becomes happy hearing the sound of the police. In the next scene, everyone is in the hospital. So the doctor comes and tells them, Arthit is fine. He will regain consciousness in a while. Hearing this, Arthit's dad tells Peng, go home. But Peng refuses and stays right there to take care of Arthit. After this, Peng is sitting near Arthit, then Arthit regains consciousness. So Peng tells him, you were shot, do you remember? So Arthit says, yes, are you okay? To which Peng answers, yes, and both start smiling. Just then, Arthit's dad comes there and tells Peng, rest. So Peng says, I will stay right here and take care of Arthit. Hearing this, Arthit becomes happy. The next day, Arthit's friends come to meet him. Just then, Peng comes there and starts taking care of Arthit. Whatever work Arthit tells her to do, Peng does the same. Seeing this, everyone is surprised, so Arthit says, Peng, take me to the washroom. Hearing this, Kot says, no problem, I will take you to the washroom. To which Arthit says, no, I have to go only with Peng. Then Peng takes him to the washroom. So Kot asks her, what has happened to Arthit? Peng says, I have no idea. Hearing this, Ling says, has he also sustained an injury on his head along with his shoulder? We should talk to the doctor about this. So Peng says, I also feel the same. Hearing this, Thanon smiles and says, now there is no need for this. You all get used to these things because from now on, Arthit is going to behave like this. In the next scene, Arthit takes Peng to a beautiful house. So Peng asks him, whose house is this? But Arthit does not give any answer and sleeps right there on the sofa. So Peng likes this place very much, and after walking outside, she comes and sits near Arthit. Then Arthit catches her hand in his sleep. Peng tries to free her hand, but Arthit does not leave her hand. Just then, Peng also falls asleep. After a while, when Arthit's eyes open, he smiles seeing Peng sleeping like this and keeps looking at her for a long time. Then he starts making food. When Peng's eyes open, she is shocked to see herself on the sofa. Then Arthit smiles looking at her and tells her, eat food. Now Peng, after seeing the food, says, I didn't know that you make such good food. At which Arthit says, now you don't know many such things about me, and then starts smiling. Then Peng says, why do you smile looking at me? To which Arthit says, did you not like this behavior of mine? Hearing this, Peng says, I liked it very much. Then Arthit starts smiling again. Seeing this, Peng does not understand anything. Now, after eating, both go to the rooftop. So Peng says, I didn't understand why we didn't go home. To which Arthit says, there are many reasons for this. One is that I don't want to go home and meet Nang. Second, we are still in danger. Third, I want to stay with you. Hearing this, Peng says, I don't want to hear the last reason. So Arthit says, this very reason is the most important. Hearing this, Peng goes near Arthit and explains to him, look, you don't love me, you hate me. Hearing this, Arthit says, I used to hate you, but not now. Saying this, Arthit hugs Peng and says, if I hated you, I would not have come here with you. So Peng says, let me go. I think your health is not good. But Arthit says, I am perfectly fine. So Peng says, okay. Then, after you remember everything, don't say that I did something with you. Hearing this, Arthit kisses Peng and says, okay, I will remember that I did this moment with you, not you with me. Saying this, when Arthit starts kissing Peng again, Peng keeps her hand on his shoulder because of which Arthit feels pain. So Peng runs away from there. So Arthit smiles and then goes after her and says, I am going to take a bath. So Pung says, "Why are you telling me?" Arthit says, "I am not able to take off my shirt. Will you help me?" So Pung helps him in taking off the shirt and then turns her face to the other side. Then Arthit says, "Are you feeling shy? But before you didn't feel it." Hearing this, Pung says, "You always keep bothering me." Then Arthit says, "Whenever I'm with you, I feel very good. I want to stay with you." Now to change the subject, Pung says, "Should I help you in taking a bath now?" At which Arthit agrees. So Pung is wiping his body, because of which Arthit's heartbeat becomes fast and he tells Pung to do it quickly. So Pung says, "After all, what is your problem?" At which Arthit says, "You will not understand. Finish your work quickly." And then, after looking at Pung, Arthit says, "I want to kiss you again." Hearing this, Pung is shocked and says, "Please stop joking with me." Then Arthit starts laughing again. So Pung jokingly says to him, "Now I want to kiss you." Hearing this, Arthit gets scared. So Pung goes close to him and says, "Now I will not play this game." Before Pung says anything else, Arthit starts kissing her forcefully. Seeing this, Pung is left shocked. So Arthit says, "You were the one who started it." Hearing this, Pung gets angry and starts hitting Arthit. So Arthit says sorry to her. The next day, Arthit calls Thanon and says, "The police told me that Don Din's men have done all this." So Kot says, "If Don Din is doing all this because of the factory, then why didn't he attack you directly and why did he involve Peng in all this?" To which Arthit says, "I think Don Din is involved in this case, but this entire planning must not be his, but Mark's." Hearing this, Thanon says, "If Mark can shoot himself, it means Pung is in danger." So Arthit says, "That's why I have brought Peng here." Now at night, Pung is watching TV when just then Arthit comes and sits near her. So Pung says, "You should go and rest for a while." So Arthit says, "I want to watch a TV while sitting with you." Saying this, Arthit sits even closer to Pung and keeps his head on her shoulder. Seeing this, Pung is a bit confused. Just then, she remembers the old things, that she had also done the same with Arthit. And she says to Arthit by moving him away from herself, "Are you joking with me?" To which Arthit refuses. So Pung says, "You are doing exactly the same thing that I did with you." Then Arthit says, "I have caught a fever again. You can check if you want." But Pung refuses. But Arthit still forcefully catches Pung's hand and checks his fever. So Pung says, "You have a very high fever." Arthit says, "I couldn't sleep properly, therefore I caught a fever." After that, as he is going to rest, he suddenly stops while walking and starts looking at Peng. Peng looks at him. Arthit comes back and sits beside her and goes to sleep while keeping his head in her lap. Seeing all this, Pung is shocked and tells Arthit to get up, but Arthit refuses and goes to sleep right there while smiling. The next morning, Arthit's mom asks his dad, "With whom has Arthit gone?" So Arthit's dad tells her, "He has gone alone. And anyway, now our son has grown up, he can take care of himself, and whoever he wants to stay with, let him stay." Then Arthit's mom says, "Nowadays, Arthit's mind is not right, lest he chooses Peng." To this, Arthit's dad says, "If Arthit has actually chosen Peng, then what will happen?" So Arthit's mom says, "I will never accept Peng as my daughter-in-law." On the other side, Thanon and Kot are sitting together. Just then, Ling brings water for Thanon. Seeing this, Kot says, "Where is my water?" So Ling tells him, "Go and take it yourself." Then Kot says, "I don't like those people whose girlfriends are there. I don't know when I will get my girlfriend." Hearing this, Thanon says, "One day, suddenly your girlfriend will come in front of you and you won't even know." Hearing this, Kot starts to leave when just then he bumps into Nang, and an accidental kiss happens between the two. So Kot quickly moves back and shouts, "Oh God, what has happened? This was my first kiss." Then Nang says while shouting, "Why are you shouting? I should be the one shouting because this was my first kiss too." Seeing this, Ling and Thanon start laughing. So Kot leaves from there while crying. After this, Arthit sees Mark's car at the farmhouse, so he gets very angry. Seeing this, Peng says, "Are you angry with me again?" But Arthit refuses and starts taking Peng away from there. So Peng says, "Where are you taking me?" To which Arthit says, "You were the one who said that you want to go home." Just then, Arthit sees that Mark is following them. Then he gets angry and starts driving the car fast. Then another car comes in between their car, because of which Mark's car is left behind and Arthit's car goes ahead. Then Arthit takes Peng to a place. Seeing this, Peng says, "You said that you were taking me home." Then Arthit tells her to get down, but Peng refuses. But just then, her eyes fall on their old maid, Jem. Seeing this, Peng becomes happy and quickly goes to her. Seeing this, Arthit becomes happy. Then Peng finds out Yem's husband has died. Therefore, she says to Yem, "Whenever you need me, please tell me. I will help you." Arthit starts smiling looking at them. Then Yem takes them inside too. Then Yem and Peng talk together. Then Arthit is looking only at them. Then Pong comes to Arthit and asks, "Can I stay here tonight?" To which Arthit agrees. So Pong becomes very happy. Then Arthit smiles looking at her. After this, Yam is making food, so Peng starts helping her. So Yam refuses. Then Peng goes to Arthit, who is fixing the things in Yam's house. Seeing this, Peng says, "You are injured, aren't you? So you will have pain there." To this, Arthit says, "Now I'm not having pain," and starts working again. Then Peng says thank you to him and sits near him. Then Arthit says, "Whatever work you have to do, go and do it. I will do this alone." Then Peng says, "Take whatever help you need from me because you will have pain due to working too much." Arthit starts smiling. After this, all three eat food together, and after eating, Peng is sitting alone. Then Arthit sits near her. So Peng says thank you to him for bringing her here. Then Arthit smiles. So Peng asks him, "By the way, why did you bring me to Jam?" To which Arthit says, "Because I felt that you were missing Yam." Hearing this, Peng says, "How did you know that I am missing Yam?" To this, Arthit says, "I know that the people who love someone are happy to meet them." And then both start smiling. In the next scene, Arthit is wrapping clothes when just then he hears Peng's scream. So Arthit quickly runs there. So Peng tells him, "I wanted to take a shower, but the water here is very cold." Hearing this, Arthit smiles and then brings hot water for her. Then Peng says thank you to him. So Arthit sits right there and tells her to bathe. Hearing this, Peng starts looking at him. So Arthit keeps his hand on his mouth. Peng is still staring at him. So Arthit says while laughing, "Okay, I will turn my face to the other side." Hearing this, Peng tells him to go inside. So Arthit leaves from there laughing. Seeing this, Peng also starts smiling. After this, Peng starts looking for Yam, but she does not find her. So Peng goes to Arthit. So Arthit tells her, "Food is ready." Peng was about to say something, but Arthit takes Peng with him to a beautiful place which he himself had decorated. Seeing this, Peng says, "Where did you get all these things from?" So Arthit tells, "I got them from Yam's house." So Peng says, "Is there any other surprise for me besides this?" To which Arthit says, "This is just the beginning. See what happens next." Now after eating, both sit by the riverside. Then Arthit tells her, "I will change myself according to you." Hearing this, Peng says, "Earlier you were very angry, but not now." So Arthit asks her, "Are you still afraid of me?" To which Peng says while refusing, "I am ready to accept all your actions." So Arthit asks the reason for this, to which Peng tells him, "Whether it was unknowingly, but whatever I have done with you before, I want to make up for it." To which Arthit says, "Now there is no need to do anything. I don't want to remember my past and stop blaming yourself for my accident. And forgetting the past, can we both not make a new beginning again?" So Peng says, "How?" Then Arthit says, "Can you love me again?" Hearing this, Peng is shocked and asks, "Why are you telling me to love again?" To this, Arthit says, "Because I have fallen in love with you." Hearing this, Peng looks at him in shock. So Arthit says, "Can you not love me again?" Peng does not give any answer. So Arthit says, "Okay, I will find out for myself." Saying this, Arthit kisses Peng and after kissing says, "I know you love me." So Peng says, "No, I don't love you." To which Arthit says, "If you didn't love me as I kissed you, you would have pushed me. But you didn't do so, which means you love me." Just then, the sound of firecrackers comes, because of which Peng gets scared because she remembers her dad. For this reason, Arthit hugs her. In the next scene, Arthit's mom finds out from Sape that Arthit is with Peng and he was shot because of Peng. Therefore, she is very angry with Peng and slaps her. Then Peng says sorry to her while crying. Just then, Sape is watching all this and he quickly calls Arthit. Then Arthit quickly comes to his mom. Then the mom tells Arthit, "Stay away from Peng and throw her out of the house." To which Arthit refuses and says, "I love Peng." Hearing this, Arthit's mom is shocked. After this, Arthit goes to Peng and tells her, "Come out and talk." But Peng does not say anything. Then Arthit says, "I am listening to all your things, and until you come out and listen to me, I will stay standing right here." Saying this, Arthit sits right there. Then after a while, Peng comes out. So Arthit says sorry to her on behalf of his mom. To which Peng says, "You forget me because we both will never be one, and in the future our paths will be different." Saying this, Peng starts to leave. Then Arthit catches her hand, but Peng frees her hand and leaves, because of which Arthit becomes sad. In the next scene, Peng is with Mark at Thanel and Ling's restaurant. Then Thanan calls Arthit and tells him, "Peng has come here with Mark." On the other side, Mark tells Peng, "I like you very much." Saying this, he catches Peng's hand. Then Peng becomes uncomfortable and starts to free her hand. Just then, Arthit arrives there and starts beating Mark and says, "You have no right to do this with Peng." So Mark says, "Do you have the right to do this?" Hearing this, Arthit starts beating him again. Then Peng catches him and says, "If you did this, then I will never talk to you again." Then Arthit says, "Mark just tried to misbehave with you." Hearing this, Peng says, "I will deal with all this myself. You don't need to interfere in this." Hearing this, Mark smiles. Then Arthit catches her hand and leaves from there. After this, Arthit brings Peng to his farmhouse. So Peng asks him, "Why have you brought me here?" Then Arthit says, "I should know when and where you are going, and you will have to obey every word of mine." Hearing this, Peng starts to leave. So Arthit catches her and says, "Do you not feel anything for me?" Then Peng says, "Your mom will get angry because of my staying here." Hearing this, Arthit says, "Show me proof that you don't love me." Saying this, Arthit starts to touch Peng forcefully, because of which Peng starts crying. So Arthit stops. Then Peng says, "I hate you because you are selfish. You don't care about others' feelings at all." Hearing this, Arthit says, "You hate me, but until it is confirmed that you are safe, you will stay right here." Saying this, Arthit leaves. So Peng starts crying. In the next scene, Peng is sitting alone in her garden. Just then, Arthit's dad comes there and tells Peng, "Soon, Arthit's mom will also accept you. She is just in anger, therefore she fights with you." Then Peng does not say anything. So Arthit's dad says, "Arthit sent me to take care of you." Hearing this, Peng says, "Uncle, now I will not stay quiet. I will report against my mom and dad's murder and find them." Hearing this, Arthit's dad tells her, "Don't do this," and explains a lot, but Peng does not listen to them. On the other side, Arthit's dad goes to Arthit and tells him everything. Then Arthit says, "But you told me that Peng's mom and dad died in a car accident." Then Arthit's dad tells him, "I hid this from everyone because Peng told me to do so. Therefore, you will have to stop Peng from filing the case by doing anything." So Arthit says, "But why?" To which the dad tells him, "Because all the evidence is against Peng's dad. Peng's dad is indirectly his wife's murderer." Hearing this, Arthit is shocked. Now we see the past scene where Peng's mom's dead body was found in a hotel. Now in the present scene, Arthit says, "Did Uncle really kill his wife?" Then Arthit's dad says to him, "Trusting this is difficult, but all the evidence is saying exactly this. Therefore, I haven't told Peng about this until today, because she will be very hurt. From childhood until now, Peng has faced many problems. Therefore, I take so much care of her even today." Hearing this, Arthit feels very bad. Then the dad says, "Therefore, I don't want anything bad to happen to her. Think what will happen to Peng when she finds out that her dad himself killed her mom." Hearing this, Arthit also becomes emotional. The next day, Thanon goes to meet Arthit and says, "I need your help." To which Arthit says, "Do you want to propose to Ling?" Then Thanon says, "Yes," and says, "I need your help in this." And yes, Peng's too. Hearing this, Arthit says, "I will help you, but you talk to Peng yourself." Then Thanon says, "Has there been a fight between you and Peng?" To which Arthit says yes. After this, both of them go to Peng. Then Thanon tells Peng, "I am going to propose to Ling, and I need your help in this." Hearing this, Peng becomes happy and says, "How much do I have to do?" Then Thanon says, "You and Arthit have to decide together what I should do." Saying this, Thanon leaves. Then Peng sits and starts making a surprise plan. Just then, Arthit sits near her. So Peng becomes uncomfortable and starts to leave. So Arthit says, "If you feel uncomfortable working with me, then no problem. I will talk to Thanon about this." Hearing this, Peng says, "I want to help Thanon, and I don't want Ling to find out about us." Then Arthit says, "So can you force yourself to smile?" To which Peng says, "I can do anything for Thanon, Ling, and Kot." Hearing this, Arthit says, "You talk nicely to everyone except me." Saying this, Arthit leaves. In the next scene, Kot says to Arthit, "Why didn't you tell me that you like Peng?" Hearing this, Arthit silences him. Just then, in front, Peng brings Ling according to her plan, so Arthit keeps looking only at Peng. For this reason, Kot takes Ling to click photos. Then Arthit and Peng go and stand in different directions. Just then, the music starts and Thanon makes his entry. So Ling is very happy to see Thanon. Then Thanon proposes to Ling for marriage. Then Arthit looks at Peng, and Peng looks at Arthit. And then Thanon gives the ring to Ling. So Ling says yes. Hearing this, everyone is happy, and Kot starts clicking photos of Ling and Thanon. Then Arthit comes and stands near Peng and says, "Can we also not stay happy like those two?" To which Peng says, "Life is not so easy." Then Arthit says, "Problems are in everyone's life and one has to face them." Hearing this, Peng says, "But we should also keep in mind which work is possible and which is not. By the way, now the police have also found those goons, so you stop worrying about me. Can I live in my house now?" Hearing this, Arthit says, "So when are you going?" So Peng says, "Today itself." Just then, someone comes there and tells those two to click a photo. So those two quietly start clicking photos. Then Kot tells them to smile a little. So Arthit and Peng smile. Then Kot tells Arthit to hug Peng. So Arthit hugs Peng, and Kot clicks their photo. Then Kot and Arthit are looking at the photo. Just then, Peng receives a call from Mark, but she does not receive the call. Just then, Arthit is coming near Peng, but Peng leaves from there, because of which Arthit becomes sad. In the next scene, Peng is in Bangkok. Just then, Mark comes to meet her. So Peng tells him, "Why have you come here?" "I had come to meet my customer." Then Mark says, "I am also your customer. And anyway, you are ignoring me because of Arthit and not receiving my call." Hearing this, Peng says, "I was busy, therefore I didn't receive your call." Saying this as Peng closes her diary, just then Mark sees a design in her diary and says, "I have seen this picture somewhere." Hearing this, Peng asks him, "Where have you seen it?" To which Mark says, "I don't remember correctly." So Peng says, "Okay, when you remember, tell me because this is very important for me." After this, Peng goes to the police station. Just then, Arthit also arrives there. So Peng asks him, "What are you doing here?" So Arthit says, "Why weren't you receiving my call?" Hearing this, Peng says, "Uncle has sent you here, hasn't he? And why is he stopping me from filing the case? I will definitely find out my mom's murderer." Hearing this, Arthit stops Peng from filing the case, but Peng does not listen and goes to the police officer. So Arthit also goes after her. Now Peng asks the police officer, "Who is my mom's murderer?" Then the police officer tells her, "We gathered all the evidence from which it was proved that your mom's murderer is only one person, and he has also died." Hearing this, Peng asks, "What is the name of that person?" Arthit tries to stop her, but Peng does not listen to him. Then the police officer tells Peng everything. "Your mom's murderer is none other than your dad." Hearing this, Peng is shocked and says, "But my dad loved mom very much. I will never trust this." Saying this, Peng leaves from there. So Arthit also goes after her. So Peng asks him, "Do you and uncle also feel the same?" So Arthit says, "Yes. From the evidence, it seems that your dad killed your mom because before their death, your dad and your mom had a fight." Hearing this, Peng says, "Your dad and my dad were best friends, but how did they trust this? I will prove my dad innocent. And yes, don't follow me." Saying this, Peng leaves. After this, Peng calls Mark and calls him to meet. Then Arthit also sees them and goes after them. Right there, Peng asks Mark, "Where did you see that picture?" To which Mark says, "I don't remember where I saw it. I am trying. As soon as I remember, I will inform you." Hearing this, Peng starts telling him, "I am looking for a murderer." Then Arthit arrives there and tells Peng to go home with him. So Peng says, "I have called Mark here. You can go. We have to talk about something important." Hearing this, Arthit says, "Okay, I will stay right here until you finish talking." Then Peng takes Mark somewhere else to talk. Seeing this, Arthit gets angry. Right there, Mark takes Peng to his house and says, "As soon as I remember anything, I will inform you." Hearing this, Peng says thank you to him. Then Mark tells her, "Come to my house and eat food." So Peng refuses and starts to leave. But Mark catches her and says, "I have to talk about myself too." So Peng says, "Talk right here." Then Mark says, "Talking here will not be right." To which Peng says, "I am going to my house. We will talk later." Saying this, Peng starts to leave, but Mark catches her again and starts taking her to his house. But just then, Arthit arrives there. So Peng is happy to see him, at which Arthit says, "If your talk is complete, then come home with me." Hearing this, Peng quickly sits in Arthit's car. Then Arthit takes her and leaves. Seeing this, Mark gets angry. Now on the way, Arthit says sorry to Peng and says, "I didn't know that so much has happened with you, and yes, from now on, whatever you say, I will support you because you are very important to me. What do you want?" Hearing this, Peng says, "I want to meet those people who think that my dad murdered my mom." Hearing this, Arthit takes Peng to the police station, and from there gets the records of all those people and takes Peng to the house of a lady who used to work in that hotel. Peng asks that lady, "Do you know about the murderer from 8 years ago?" So that lady refuses to tell about it. Just then, Peng sees Mark there and quickly takes Arthit and leaves from there. So Arthit asks her, "What happened?" To which Peng tells him, "I saw Mark there." Hearing this, Arthit says, "It means he is following you." Hearing this, Peng gets quite scared. So Arthit relaxes her. And then Arthit brings Peng back to his farmhouse where Peng tells him, "I suspect someone, but first I want to confirm it." So Arthit says, "How will you confirm?" Hearing this, Peng gets scared. So Arthit tells her to go and rest first and hugs her. And then Peng goes to the room to sleep. So Arthit also goes to her. So Peng tells him, "Until I fall asleep, will you sit holding my hand?" So Arthit says, "I am ready to sit holding your hand all night," and then both sleep hugging each other. The next morning, when Arthit's eyes open, Peng is not there. Seeing this, Arthit gets scared and looks for her in every place. On the other side, Peng calls Mark and says, "I want to meet you. Where are you right now?" To which Mark says, "I will come there in 1 hour." So Peng says, so can I sit in your room and wait for you? Hearing this, Mark gets suspicious, but he still says yes. Right there on the other side, Arthit calls Peng, but Peng does not receive the call because she is busy checking Mark's room, and she also installs a camera there. Just then, she finds that photo of Mark in which he has the same tattoo as in the diary. Seeing this, Peng is shocked and understands that Mark is her mom's murderer. Just then, she is shocked seeing her mom's photo there. Just then, hearing the sound of the doorbell, Peng hides. When Peng does not open the door, Mark opens the door himself and says, I know, Peng, you are here. And after putting his picture back, starts looking for her. So Peng quickly hides in the washroom and calls Arthit and tells him Mark is here and he is acting suspicious. So Arthit tells her, send the address and room number. So Peng quickly sends them. Just then, while looking for her, Mark comes there. Seeing this, Peng is shocked, but Mark tells her to talk outside and serves her food. So Peng refuses to eat the food, at which Mark says, ask whatever you want to ask me. Then Peng asks about the tattoo. So Mark mixes something in her drink and tells Peng to drink it, but Peng refuses to drink. So Mark says, you are very stubborn, just like your mom. Hearing this, Peng says, why did you kill my mom? So Mark says, nature brought us together and I will always take care of you. Then Peng says, don't touch me, and looks towards the same camera that she had hidden and asks, tell me the truth about what happened to my mom. Then Mark picks up that camera, says hi into it, and says to Peng, did you want to record all this and give evidence to the police? And then, after breaking the camera, says, yes, I killed your mom because she wanted to break up with me and go back to her husband. Hearing this, Peng says, you killed my mom just for this reason. Then Mark comes close to her and says, you also want to leave me and go. So Peng takes out a knife and says, stay away from me. So Mark takes the knife from her and tries to kill her with it, but Peng hits him. Just then, Arthit arrives there. Peng is about to kill Mark, but Arthit stops her. Just then, Mark takes out his gun and tries to kill Arthit, but just then the police arrive and catch Mark. After this, Peng, Arthit, Thanon, and Kot go and tell everything. So Kot gets angry and says to Arthit, next time something like this happens, tell us so that at least we can come to pick up your dead body. Then Thanon asks them, has Mark gone to jail? To which Arthit says, no, currently he has been released on bail. Now at night, Arthit says to Peng, instead of fighting with the rest of the people, it's better that you fight with me. Then Peng says, now I am not afraid of staying with you. Then Arthit says, really? But don't trust me so much because I don't even trust myself. Hearing this, Peng starts laughing. Then Arthit is happy to see her smile. The next morning, Peng and Arthit go to Arthit's dad. Then Peng tells Arthit's dad, Mark told me that he killed my mom because she wanted to break up with him. Hearing this, Arthit's dad feels regret. How did I believe that my friend must have done all this? And then he says, sorry to Peng. Then Peng forgives them and hugs him. Just then, Arthit's mom comes there and says, am I not visible to anyone? And leaves from there. Then Arthit's dad goes to Arthit's mom and tells her, Peng's dad didn't kill her mom. Mark did it because she wanted to return to her husband. Hearing this, she also feels very bad. After this, everyone goes to the temple where Peng says, Mom, I have found your murderer, and soon I will get them punished. Then Arthit's dad also says sorry to Peng's dad, and Arthit also tells them, from today, I will take care of Peng. And then everyone returns to their home. Then Arthit tells Peng to drop her to her house, but Arthit's mom says, I have to talk to Peng about something. Hearing this, Arthit and the dad leave from there. Then Arthit's mom says sorry to Peng because they didn't know anything before. So Peng also says sorry for her mistakes. Then Arthit's mom forgives her and says, I can accept you as a niece, but as a daughter-in-law, no, please stay away from Arthit. Hearing this, Peng becomes sad, but she agrees to her words. In the next scene, Peng goes to court with Arthit where Thanon, Ling, and Kot also arrive. Seeing them, Peng becomes emotional. Then Thanon tells her, today is not your turn to cry, but Mark's. Hearing this, Arthit silences Peng and everyone goes inside the court where Arthit's mom and dad also arrive. Seeing this, Peng is happy. Just then, Peng's lawyer plays that recording before the judge in which Mark had told the whole truth. Hearing this, Mark is shocked. Now we see the past scene where, while sitting in the washroom, Peng had turned on the recording in her mobile. Now, in the present scene, the police come and take Mark away. After this, Peng comes home and tells Arthit's dad to go back to Bangkok after finishing all the work. And Arthit also hears their talk and, becoming sad, leaves from there. Now at night, Arthit is sitting sad. Then Peng comes to him. So Arthit asks her, can you not stay here? So Peng says, no, now I will have to go from here. Hearing this, Arthit says, earlier I felt that you also loved me, but I felt wrong. Hearing this, Peng leaves from there crying. The next day, Arthit takes Peng with him for a walk where all the workers are eating food. so they tell Pung and Arthit also to eat food with them. So altogether, Pung, Arthit, and all the workers eat food and enjoy a lot. Now after eating, Arthit takes Pung among the flowers and says, "When you came back from Bangkok, you met me here for the first time. At that time, I didn't know how to drive you away from here. And now I don't know how to stop you." Hearing this, Pung becomes sad. After this, Arthit is sitting sad in his office when just then the maid comes and tells Arthit, "Pung is not going to Bangkok by her own will, but rather your mom told her to go. I heard their talk that day." Hearing this, Arthit is shocked and goes to his mom and tells her to give Pung another chance. But Arthit's mom tells him, "I am afraid that Peng might run away like her mom. And if you chose Peng, then you will see my dead face." Hearing this, Arthit becomes sad and goes to Peng and says, "I want to spend good time with you because if you go away, I will spend my life remembering these memories. But I found out that you are going at my mom's behest. By the way, if my mom had not come between us, would you have loved me?" Hearing this, Peng tells him, "I love you very much too." Hearing this, Arthit hugs her. The next morning, Arthit and Peng are sleeping together when Arthit's mom sees them both and screams at Peng, "You broke your promise?" So Arthit asks Peng, "Are you going from here because of some promise?" Then Peng says, "Aunt is misunderstanding." So Arthit says, "What is wrong in this? We both love each other." So Peng says, "Please don't stop me." So Arthit says, "Okay, from today, I will do only what you want." In the next scene, after Peng has left, Arthit keeps working all day and does not take anyone's help. Then his mom brings food for him, so Arthit refuses. Seeing Arthit's condition like this, his mom realizes her mistake and starts crying. On the other side, Thanan proposes to Nang, so Nang also agrees. After this, Arthit comes to Thanan's house to give him a file, but he is not there. So Arthit gives that file to Nang and leaves. Seeing him like this, Nang does not feel good. So she goes to meet Pung and says to her, "Why are you not going back to Arthit?" Hearing this, Pung says, "I am going there only." Now we see the past scene where Arthit's mom says, "Sorry, please come back." Now in the present scene, Arthit is working when just then Pung arrives there. So at first, Arthit looks at her and then says, "Who gave permission to the person I don't know to come to my farm?" Hearing this, Pung says, "Are you angry with me?" Just then, all the workers come and say, "This is Peng." So Arthit says, "This person's voice is bothering me." Saying this, Arthit leaves. After this, all the workers tell Peng that Arthit is coming here. As Arthit arrives there, all the workers stand in front of him. So Arthit says, "Okay, I will ride the bike over everyone." Hearing this, all the workers run away, but Peng stays standing there and says sorry to Arthit and gives him a ride home. Seeing this, Arthit, controlling his laughter, ignores Pung and leaves. And then Arthit is working when Pung comes there. So Arthit ignores her and tells the worker, "I am going home," so that Pung hears it, and he leaves while smiling. So Pung goes after him, where Arthit says, "I am feeling hot." So Pung turns on the AC. Then Arthit says, "I have to drink water." So Pung quickly brings water for him. After drinking the water, Arthit says, "I am still angry with you." Hearing this, to cool down his anger, Peng kisses him on his cheeks. But Arthit starts kissing Peng on the lips and then tells her, "I had told everyone on the farm that I love you, but you left me and went away. And now you have come back, so how will I face them all?" Hearing this, Pung says, "So what should I do?" At which Arthit says, "Exactly what I did. Go and tell all the workers that you love me and tell them about my reputation." The next morning, everyone arrives in the garden. So Arthit says to them, "I will also see how Peng speaks in front of everyone." But just then, an announcement happens. Hearing it, Arthit is left shocked and tries to stop Peng, but his friends do not let him go. So Peng says, "I left you and went away. I am sorry for that. And by the way, I have loved you since the time I was in high school, and you only are my sunshine." Hearing this, Arthit smiles, and everyone else also becomes happy. Then Peng says, "Will you marry me?" So Arthit says, "This question should have been asked by me to you, not you to me." And then Arthit asks Peng for marriage. So Peng says yes. In the next scene, the wedding of Peng and Arthit is shown where suddenly it starts raining. Seeing this, everyone starts hiding here and there. So Arthit says to Peng, "The rain has made our wedding special." Now, after the rain stops, Arthit and Peng start kissing each other. After the kiss, Peng throws the flowers, so Kot catches them. Seeing this, Nang becomes happy. So Kot says, "The next number is ours." Hearing this, everyone